In Deliver Us the Moon, you learn from the opening cinematic that humanity has solved its energy crisis. Until it hasn't. The moon sends energy using an energy transportation mechanism called an MPT. 5 years ago, a blackout occurred, and all the energy and communication within the moon base halted. Earth's WSA, World Space Agency, gathered what's left of its resources and decides to send you to the moon to figure out what happened. With the rest of humanity remaining on a dying Earth, you alone are charged with saving them. Without giving away too many spoilers, the main campaign was quite short, but that's just what I was looking for in a game between AAA titles. Your mission is pretty straightforward. Get the energy production back online, send that energy to Earth. You could finish the main story between 4 and 6 hours. The clues to discovering what happened to the colonists here aren't hard to find and are sometimes directly in your path of the story progression. The visual representation of the colonists are revealed through an interesting method I won't go into. I will say, however, some of the voice actors are giving it their A game, while others seem to be phoning it in.
Whoa, calm down. Who sent you?
When experiencing any game for the first time, we all fiddle with our control layout. The first thing I noticed about Deliver Us the Moon was how slow the vertical and horizontal sensitivity was. While I can appreciate the realism that offers while floating in space, I could see it hinder any events that required quick reflexes. And this is space, so if something can go wrong, it will go wrong. Other than sensitivity, I kept brightness settings on standard. I wanted the cold darkness of space to feel like it was constantly closing in around me. Especially as you neared the end of the game, darkness could only be battled with your tiny spacesuit's light, which added to the anxiety of solving the puzzles before you ran out of oxygen and everything went black. Although the controls seemed slow to respond during the walking portions of this game, this felt like a positive experience when floating in zero-G. The loss of the control and rebound effect added to the immersion of free floating in space. Hitting the left or right bumper to horizontally straighten your HUD for that first time is a pretty satisfying feeling. I see that many games have an inversely proportional relationship between controls and visuals, as the more janky the controls are, the better looking the game. Deliver Us the Moon is beautiful, but graphics aren't just pretty, you can admire the lighting and art direction. The cinematography closely reminded me of one of my favorite movies, 2009's Moon, starring Sam Rockwell. With the lack of theater currently available due to current world events, this game is just what I needed to give me my cinema fix. I wish the lunar exploration was a little longer, but nonetheless, it was a wonderful experience. The moment you set foot on the lunar surface and leave the safety of the base, you begin to run low on oxygen. I didn't have much time to look up at the stars, but I made sure to take a second to enjoy the view when the opportunity arose. I mentioned the film Moon earlier. That film score always resonated a sense of loneliness and abandonment that film portrays. The same can be said about Deliver Us the Moon's soundtrack. Whether it's solving the blackout mystery, driving on the moon's surface, or anxiously exploring the dark corners of the base, the music is 100% representative of what you should be feeling at that moment. The side stories can be observed rather easily by following the main objective. There were some collectibles and maybe a comic series to follow, but they didn't interest me enough to garner my attention.
Thanks for the heads up, Pearson.
Overall, Deliver Us the Moon was fantastic. Despite the slow controls, the mystery, the soundtrack, and the visuals gave me a true immersive experience. I give this game 4 out of 5 tank tops.